crashes, sending several guests to the hospital.
Plus, we've got a beautiful fall-like day across the area. How's Halloween shaping up? We'll have the answer in just a few minutes.
And the inspiring story of an Oklahoma City nonprofit that's using tiny homes to change the lives of young adults who've aged out of foster care.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
6 guests and 1 employee are injured after a train derails at Silver Dollar City. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Tanya Bach. Topping our first 7 minutes, the latest on the Silver Dollar City steam train derailment. Authorities say they responded to calls about multiple injuries, and witnesses say the Frisco Silver Dollar Line steam train crashed around 6 p.m. The theme park issued a statement last night saying 6 guests and 1 employee were taken by ambulance to medical facilities. The train provides a roughly 20-minute ride inside the park only. Now, this cell phone video taken shortly after the derailment was provided to us by Gary Eldridge of Mount Vernon, Arkansas, who was on the ride with his family. Eldridge tells us his family is okay because they were on the only train car that did not flip. Another person who was in a car that did flip shared these photos and tells us the train made a weird sound as it rounded a corner and then toppled onto its side. There were between 150 and 160 guests on the train. A second excavation is underway in Tulsa in connection to the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre investigation. The excavation includes a new area at Oaklawn Cemetery in the hopes of finding potential victims. The first excavation took place in the summer of 2021. Analysts were able to locate 19 human remains. The city says 14 of those fit the criteria for further DNA analysis. From the samples taken at Oaklawn, 2 DNA samples had sufficient amounts of DNA to move forward. Well, those for and against the legalization of recreational marijuana in Missouri are speaking out. On November 8th, Missourians will vote on Amendment 3. If passed, the constitutional amendment will remove state prohibitions on purchasing, possessing, consuming, using, delivering, manufacturing, and selling marijuana for personal use for adults over the age of 21. However, some police officers do have concerns about the amendment and possibly wider use of cannabis.
Affects your ability to concentrate, it slows your reaction time, it distorts your judgment or your perception of things, and those are all concerning factors with regard to driving a motor vehicle.
If passed, some marijuana crimes could also be expunged from criminal records. In Nation Watch, Herschel Walker is doubling down. The Senate candidate is once again denying he paid for a girlfriend's abortion. Natalie Brand has the latest.
This is a lie, and I've said it once, and I've moved on my campaign.
Georgia Republican Senate candidate Herschel Walker denied allegations from a second woman who says that Walker paid for her abortion.
I'm done with this foolishness.
The woman described a 6-year affair with Walker while he was married and playing in the NFL. She says that in April 1993, she found out she was pregnant and told Walker she couldn't go through with an abortion.
He was upset and said that he was going to go back with me to the clinic the next day for me to have the abortion.
Her lawyer, Gloria Allred, did not provide receipts from the clinic, but did provide a photo, handwritten cards, and a recorded message allegedly from Walker.
I want to say I love you and I was thinking about you.
Walker is locked in a very close race against incumbent Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock, who called the latest allegations part of, quote, a troubling pattern.
Pennsylvania is another battleground state that could determine the balance of power in the U.S. Senate.
Doing that debate wasn't exactly easy.
Democrat John Fetterman, who is recovering from a stroke, says this week's debate against Republican Mehmet Oz was one of the hardest things he's ever done.
And deal with the crisis.
In the final stretch to Election Day, Oz has focused his campaign on crime.
We are battling right now for the heart and soul of our city.
It's also a top issue for Republican Congressman Lee Zeldin, running for governor in New York against incumbent Kathy Hochul.
And we will protect a woman's right to a safe and legal abortion.
Meanwhile, Hochul has criticized Zeldin for his stance on abortion and his support of former President Trump. The polls in New York have tightened in recent days, with less than 2 weeks until Election Day. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Well, Halloween is almost here, and Chris Warner joins us with a first look at your holiday weekend forecast.
Well, the good news is, or maybe the bad news for you folks at home, is we're going to tease you with the weekend forecast, but I will say there are some showers on the way. We'll talk about those showers here in a few minutes. First, though, live look at 7th and Range Line. You can see some of the high clouds out there. Otherwise, a really nice day across the area, and temperatures are really nice to go along with that. As you can see, we've got 60 Neodesha, 59 Chanute, 60 in Parsons, 58 in Neosho, and in Joplin. We are sitting at 59 degrees. As we mentioned, a beautiful view out there right now. Hey, look at that. You see the temperature just update? It's really cool when it does that. So we're now at 61 in Joplin. It feels like 61. The wind is southeast at 14. And that's the other thing, is the winds aren't as bad as we were expecting them to be. They're gusty, but not as terrible. So that's good news. As you can see, we'll level off as we go through the evening, dropping back into the 40s overnight. And the other good news, we knew the drought tracker would update with the latest rainfall, and it has updated. Now, there's still exceptional drought for a good chunk of southeast Kansas and northeast Oklahoma. But if you recall, the last time this exceptional drought category was extending really far east, and it's been scooted back west. So the rain made a difference. We need more rain to make a bigger difference, but it has certainly helped. As we go through today, still looking at a high of 64. We're 58 at 2 and 5, and we'll be 52 by 8 with increasing cloud cover. We'll talk about some rain showers tonight and what the holiday weekend looks like here in just a few minutes.
All right, sounds like a plan. Thanks, Chris. Well, McDonald County High School honors a fallen hero by dedicating a memorial highway. Christopher Lee Marion graduated from McDonald County High School in 2005 and joined the U.S. Army. In February of 2006, Private First Class Marion was killed while on patrol in Iraq when his military vehicle hit a roadside bomb. And this ceremony reminded students Chris was just like them.
When I think about it as a student that walked through our hallways, it sometimes brings a tear to my eye. I mean, somebody that could have been right next to you when you're in school.
Marion family waited 4 years to honor Chris with the Memorial Highway. That's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at noon, an Oklahoma nonprofit is making tiny homes to house the homeless. And later, Howard shows us how to make a tender and delicious beer brine pork chop in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. A nonprofit is using tiny homes to bring a lot of hope to people who need it. In Oklahoma City, the small houses are changing the lives of young adults who age out of foster care. Omar Villafranca reports.
Here you go, ma'am.
For the first time in her life, 20-year-old Daciana Berry has a steady job. And for the last 2 months, a steady place to call home. Two things that were unthinkable just a few years ago after spending most of her life in Oklahoma's foster care system.
It's very important to me because growing up, I never had anything to myself, you know? I was taken away from my parents when I was like 3 months.
While Berry takes orders, she's getting her life in order with the help of Pivot. The Oklahoma City nonprofit provides young people with a little house to live in as they start their journey into adulthood.
I'm very appreciative of what I have right now, what I was provided with, because I didn't have anything.
Many of the residents were homeless, like Berry, or aged out of the foster care system at 18. The Little House Project started 4 years ago with 3 cozy cottages. But as the need grew, the program expanded. Now, Pivot has 26 little houses on over 12 acres of land, built with the help of private donations along with state and federal grants. Residents initially pay $100 a month for a home of around 300 square feet with a living space, a kitchen, and a bathroom. Tenants can't have overnight guests and have to keep the place clean. Pivot CEO Jennifer Goodrich says the goal is to get residents ready for the real world in 2 years by helping them find jobs, get counseling, and plan for a better tomorrow.
We give them voice and choice, like what do you want it to be?
Berry is learning the basics and building a big future from her little home.
I think this is an opportunity that I don't think anybody should pass up.
I'm Omar Villafranca in Oklahoma City.
Government data shows nearly 4,000 people sleep on Oklahoma streets every day. Almost 300 of them are between 18 and 24 years old. Still to come on the KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Have you ever wanted to brine meat or poultry but didn't know where to start? If so, join us as we show you how.
But first, we're going to take a look at the weekend forecast with some shower chances when we come back. We've got an absolutely gorgeous fall-like day out there for us today. You couldn't ask for a better or more textbook fall day. And the good news is, despite what we were looking at this morning, the winds haven't been nearly as bad as we had anticipated. So that's definitely a good thing. But still, make sure your trash can's secured, just in case. You never know. You never know. There could be a raccoon that tries to get in it, so secure your trash can anyway. Right now in Joplin, we've got mostly clear skies. We have 61 degrees, wind to southeast at 14. Feels like 61 out there, and temperatures across the region are looking pretty decent as well. We've got 60 Independence, Sedan, Neodesha, and Parsons, 59 Pittsburgh, 58 Lamar and Nevada and Carthage and Neosho, and a little cooler in Monette sitting at 55. Now as we go through the rest of today, we are looking at an afternoon high of 64, and again it might still be a little bit on the breezy side, but not as bad as again we were anticipating. 58 at 2 and at 5, and 52 by 8 o'clock. We'll still continue to see increasing clouds through the day as well, so we will eventually become mostly cloudy, and that's ahead of what we're expecting later this evening. For your drive home, we've put the green light on. We had the yellow light on this morning, but we've got the green light on. This is the MoDOT camera looking live west on I-44. From Rangeline in Joplin. Good number of cars out there, but from the weather side, a green light. Be mostly cloudy as you get through your evening commute. Temperatures hovering right around the 50 or almost close to the 60-degree mark. And then tonight is why we get mostly cloudy, because we could have some isolated to widely scattered showers across the area. We're 50 at 11 and 47 by 2 a.m. We'll just kind of hover around that mark, and that will be our overnight low. So a good number of us will actually remain dry, but there are some scattered shower chances across the area this evening, which after seeing the drought tracker earlier in the show, the more rain we can get, the better, because the rain we did just get has made a bit of an improvement, and we need a lot more to help knock that back down. So let's take a look at the weekend, because I know a lot of you might have some plans. There's some trunk or treating going on, some Halloween parties, whatever you might be doing. So we're mostly cloudy Saturday and Sunday, 58 Saturday, 55 on Sunday, and you see the little rain icons on there. Don't freak out just yet, because this is going to be scattered shower activity. We're not necessarily looking at an all-day rain event through the weekend, but we are looking at the possibility of some scattered showers across the area. So if you do have any outdoor plans this weekend, make sure you keep the umbrella handy or the rain jacket handy. I know kids will be in costumes, and rain jackets don't look all that good with your costume. It kind of ruins the costume. So keep the umbrella handy for some of these stray showers, but otherwise don't cancel your plans. And we're going to be cooler, as you can see as well, so we dip back down into the middle to upper 50s. So let's take a look at the future track. We can talk about some of those rain chances. This is tomorrow around noon. We're looking all right. And then we get into Saturday. This is Saturday early morning. You can see we've got some showers in some of the area, and we'll see them again kind of overspreading. Now remember, this is not widespread rain. This is the computer model saying this is where rain could possibly be, and it hangs on with us all the way through Sunday as well, and then it clears out. And I want to show you the 7-day forecast, because that's where it gets a little more interesting. Once we get through the weekend, we have a beautiful Halloween, 65, partly cloudy, 50 for the overnight low, and then you see some 70s as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday. Well, 70s become the trend all through next week, but by the end of next week, we're watching increasing shower and thunderstorm chances. So we've got 3 shots of rain. I mean, low-end shots this evening, but slightly better shots of some scattered showers through the weekend, and even better chances for showers and thunderstorms by the end of next week. So that drought tracker could continue to improve if we keep up on this rain trend that we're starting to build into.
Yeah, definitely. We always need the chances of rain, but hopefully we can still get a lot of Halloween fun in this weekend.
Yeah, and I think we'll still be able to get some fun in. Like I said, just pack the umbrella, keep a rain jacket handy just in case, but don't cancel those plans.
There you go. All right, thanks, Chris. We take this time to honor today's 4-state hero, Sergeant Stephen Murray Jr. in the U.S. Army. The Granby, Missouri native joined the 5th Engineers based out of Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri in 1990. He served a tour in Saudi Arabia, earning the Army Commendation Medal. To Sergeant Stephen Murray Jr., we thank you, our 4-state hero. Well, there's nothing worse than a dried up pork chop. Today, Howard shows us how to make beer brined pork chops that are anything but that in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
This is the time of year when we're craving heartier meals. And one way to make everything from thick-cut pork chops to slow-cooked roasts super juicy and as tender as can be is to brine them. Now, if you're not sure where to start, let me share an old world style brine that'll take these pork chops to a whole new level. We start by mixing some water with a bottle of dark beer, a couple of tablespoons of molasses, a bit of brown sugar, and some kosher or sea salt. Salt is key when brining, as it helps the brine to penetrate the meat and tenderize it. Now we place our chops in a resealable bag and cover it with the brine. After it's sealed, into the fridge it goes for at least 4 hours or even overnight. Then we'll drain off the brine and toss these onto a grill pan, or we can do them outside on the grill. And since we wanted to go all out, we rub these with a homemade dry rub to really amp up the flavor. There you have it, perfectly brined chops that are so moist, so tender, and so flavorful, you're gonna wanna pick up the bone and nibble on it so you don't leave any goodness behind. To get the recipe, simply visit our website and type in beer brine pork chops. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a juicy and flavorful way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Well, you can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at our 4-state market prices.
Maybe a stray shower or two tonight. Better shower chances through the weekend, but they'll be scattered. Cooler temperatures. Halloween looks great, though, 65 and partly cloudy with a low of 50. So good trick-or-treating weather.
Sounds perfect.
All right. What do we have coming up tonight at 5?
Well, at 5, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, of course. And one person helping to spread the word is Katie Couric. In Health Watch, she speaks out about her recent stage 1 breast cancer diagnosis and what she wants women to know about protecting their own health. Plus, 80 Joplin community members representing 50 organizations experience a simulated month of living in poverty. And we get Halloween trick-or-treating safety tips from the Pittsburgh Police Chief. Hope you join us for those stories. A whole lot more, of course. It's coming up today on KOAM News at 5.
I'm excited. We're looking at a good forecast for Halloween, too.
Perfect for trick-or-treaters.
That's right. Well, thank you for joining us for KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5 o'clock.